we've got football royalty in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Neil Warnock is here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Neil. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Not been called royalty before, but I've been called a lot more things.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah. Absolute pleasure. It really is. I've got so many questions. I could talk to you, Neil.
I thought you'd have introduced me as Colin, knowing you.
Well...
Is that one of your questions?
It was
going to be. It's not now.
It was going to be. Right. The Colin thing is. We were saying earlier, who was the first person bored in an office at work, sitting there, making anagrams, and who went, no way, give over. Look at that. And it works.
Took some doing, didn't it? That
didn't
really?
it? Just...
I still can't work it out, mate.
Get half 9.
Can you believe this? We just had a competition on before you came in. We gave away tickets to the Kaiser Chiefs. We pick a caller totally at random. He was called Colin. I couldn't believe it.
You can't make it up.
I was worried it was you.
I thought you were cluing in. I was listening to that call, and I thought, aye, they just brought this guy in on a purpose to warm up the show.
Exactly, do you know, there's some great stories about you from the world of football. Some of them are true, and some of them probably not true. Depending on how it goes, I want to ask you about one of them, but I'll ease my way into it first, though, Neil. Now, loads of things to talk to you about. Number one, Neil has a live tour coming up.
Yeah.
Now, you've been around. You've certainly got the experience. Did you retire from playing at 30?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'd been around. I nearly done every club by then.
Yeah.
I kept getting the sack 3 or 4 times, and I just kept going. And I did 300 and odd games as a player.
You did.
But then I went in. I always wanted to manage. I loved managing, and I started doing it with a Sunday League team where I lived, and then at Toddick near Sheffield, and then up in Hartlepool. I'd already enjoyed it up there, you know. So I just enjoyed managing and directing people and motivating them, really.
That's brilliant, because for a lot of players, they just don't know what to do when they retire, and the fact that you wanted to manage probably made the decision easier. So when you go,
but you'll never guess what I qualified as.
What?
You haven't got it down there.
No.
You'll never guess in a million years. I was a Carropodist.
Were you?
Wow,
I studied when I was at Scunthorpe United. I studied for 2.5 years and took a course, and then I had my own surgery in Sheffield, just off the M1, a Carropodist. I used to do the ladies' feet around the area, you know. It was good.
When you say around the area, around the Sheffield area.
Geographically around the area.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that, though?
I had bad feet, and the physio at Scunny, I was doing it one day, and he was doing it, and I said, I wouldn't mind doing something like that, Charlie they called him, and he said, why don't you? He said, you could do it while you're footballing, you do a correspondence course, and so I did. I thought, well, I'm not doing anything with my time, I'll do that, and I worked hard, and I really enjoyed it. I used to love, my speciality was ingrowing toenails.
Hey, stand for Neil.
Because I had a chairman at Notts County called Derek Bavies, and he used to get on my nerves at times, right? He was all right, but he got on my nerves, and he had an ingrowing toenail, and I said to Mick Jones one morning, he really got that weekend, he drove me down, and he come in to have his fit, and I said, Mick, have a listen at the door. He said, what do you mean? I said, you'll know. And so I started doing his thing. I said, Derek, it might hurt a little bit, this. And shoved it in, and he'd squeal like, you know. And I didn't have to do that.
Wow.
What a life. Neil, what a life. So this is what the tour is. It's you with your stories of football. And as I said, you had an amazing playing career, a phenomenal managerial career. There's no one more successful than you. As far as getting teams promoted, you're the GOAT. You're the greatest of all time in English football. That's a nice thing to have, isn't it?
It is. I've really enjoyed it. You know, when I go back to places, they all remember those times, you know, the open-top bus rides. I've had four Wembley playoff wins for promotion, and everyone, even I'm down at Plymouth, you know, and down living near there, and we went up and we had the open top bus ride, and all the way down from Wembley on with the scarves out the trains and the cars, and you know, it sticks in your memory, that really. So I'm really pleased with, you know, some really good promotions. Notts County, I did say to him when he sacked me, I turned Chelsea down and he sacked me the 6 months later, and I said to him, be interested where you end up, Notts County now, Derek. And they were non-league till about a year ago. So, but they're on the way back up now, thankfully.
Yeah, exactly, doing all right. So this is a live tour. I mean, it's interesting. Oasis have just started playing live again, and they're playing all over the UK, and then they go off to America and Australia and Brazil and everything. You've got 3 dates on your tour. You're busy. Do you want to get in the way of a holiday?
I just enjoy, you know, the ones that wanted to. I always wanted to do the Palladium because when when I was a kid, when I was in short trousers, my mum had multiple sclerosis, and my dad he worked 16-hour shifts in the steelworks. And on a Sunday night, we all got together around the telly, and I sat in front of my mum's wheelchair, and she used to play with me. I used to love it, and it was London night, Sunday night at the London Palladium. And at the end, the stage used to go round, and the Tiller girls used to kick the legs. They were the biggest legs I've ever seen up in the air. And it was a highlight of my week. And a black and white telly we had as well. So it was great. So when I said, Steve, you can't get me at Palladium, can you? And he said, yeah, I'll have a try. I'll see if they'll do it. And when they said, yeah, it was great. So there might only be about 30 people. My relatives will be there.
You'll sell out, I reckon.
But we'll have a good night.
It'll be a sellout. Yeah.
29th of August at the Opera House in Manchester, the 18th of September at the London Palladium, and then Ashton Gate Stadium in Bristol on the 28th of September. It's called Neil Warnock, Are You With Me? If you just search Neil Warnock live tour, those dates will come up. Go and get tickets. That'll be a great... I
had to finish at Bristol because Bristol have cost me so much money in my career with fines. Bristol City. So the fans, and Steve said to me about this show. I said, "Can you not get me one at Bristol?" He said, "Well, you're brave, aren't you?" I said, "No, I want to go to Bristol." I said, "You wait, it'll be a sellout there. They'll all come to boo me."
Bit of revenge.
So it should be interesting.
What did you get your fines for at Bristol?
You'll have to come to the show.
Right. Hey!
Find out. Okay.
Deal.
Yeah, but the good stories, you would laugh at them, I must admit.
So you're football advisor at Torquay United now.
Yeah.
But you're not done managing, though, are you?
Well, you don't know what's around the corner in life, do you, really? I mean, I'm 76 now, so you don't get managing. I just enjoy the involvement. It's hard, Chris, you know, when you've been in it. I mean, I've been a manager 45 years.
Wow.
And it's hard when you come out of that to understand, because it is you are selfish. You've got to be a bit selfish, family-wise.
Of course.
So I'm seeing more William's a golfer now, my lad. He's just qualified for PGA this last few weeks.
Fantastic. Good work, William.
And I did win at poker on Saturday night with him and his mates. I just wanted to take that on live.
That's good, yeah.
And,
but I'm sure you didn't take the money.
And my daughter's a radiotherapist down in Truro. So, and my 2 older ones, one's up in Leeds and Natalie's up in Boston Spa. So I've got a bit more time there. But when you leave the football, the adrenaline, it's hard to explain where you get it from. You've got to have something that drives you daft. And even like coming in here, Chris, I enjoy making people smile, really. I've got some great stories. Before, I couldn't say them because I'd probably get done. Whereas I can say them in the show. Yeah. You know, so I have enjoyed it.
Can I ask you about one rumour about you?
Yeah.
Is the bowling club true?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Pesky Salido. You know, he was playing at Sheffield United, and we were going to Scarborough pre-season, and he said, "Gaffer, do you mind if we go bowling? There's a bowling alley up here. Do you mind if we go bowling?" I said, "No, not at all, Pesk. Why don't you have a competition?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, chuck 20 quid each in." All of us, so we all did. They didn't know that when I was 17, I worked at a bowling alley for 2 years, and my average was of something like 220. And so we all went to this bowling alley, and I wiped the floor with them. as we got there, I opened the boot and got my ball out and my own thing out, my shoes, and I think I got about 220 on the day, like, and wiped the floor. So none of the lads could believe it.
And took the money.
Yeah, I took the money.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Back to the managerial thing. There was a rumour of you and Sheffield Wednesday. Was there any truth in that?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I would have took that because I'd fallen out with people at Sheffield United, and I thought I'll show them. Yeah. If that's the case. And I spoke to Milan, he was Milan Mandaric, and I spoke to him and he offered me the job and all that. And I said, yeah, all right. I tell you what, Milan, because I like you as a person, it was a Friday. I said, you have a think about it and talk to your, chief exec and all that lot. And then ring me up on Monday morning at 9 o'clock. If you still want me to manage you, I'll manage you. And I said, and then you'll know what's what. And so he rang me at 9 o'clock and he said, Neil, I understand what you're saying, but thank you ever so much for being honest. And I didn't get the job because, I think the chief exec and the contact with Sheffield United and but that didn't bother me. I thought I'd been messed on at Sheffield United, so I wanted to go and show them what I could do. Really,
it's a shame that the Sheffield United thing leaves a bit of a sour taste, isn't it? Really. With everything that you did for them and everything you did there. Yeah. Because it's a collaborative thing, isn't it? Yeah. Look, anybody who knows the game and how it works should know. And I don't know you. It's the first time we've met. But whatever club you walk into, that's the job, that's the gig. You've got a job to do, right? And you're going to go and you're going to pull everything out of yourself to get this team where they need to be. Yeah. It's not like you're going to be like, well, I'm not really a fan. You're going to be like, okay, I'm here now.
You're going to get some stick, aren't you?
Of course, but you've got a job to do.
They did something, they did one of those, where they ask a number of people, I can't remember what do you call it? Like a survey, like a poll, and 60% of Sheffield Wednesday fans would have wanted me in that particular one on the local radio. So it's one of those things when you go to a club, they'll always bring up your past and what have you when you're having a bad time. Of course. But, I went for an interview once at Norwich.
Oh, great club.
And the big table, there were about 10 people around the table. And Celia wasn't there, but all her group and the busy guy on the end of the table said, well, Neil, do you think our fans will like your style of football? This was the first question. And so I just took a deep breath and I looked at every one of them in the eye slowly around the long table. I looked at everyone and I went back to the end and I said, I think they'd love to win games. But I didn't get the job. I didn't get the job.
Do you know, when it comes to your inspirational speeches and whatnot, there is a video on YouTube. It's had so many views. And it just says Neil Warnock inspirational speech, and then the comment section is like, oh my God, this guy calls it as it is. What a great guy. I need him in my life and all that. And there's a bit of bad language in it, but so we asked Captain here to just edit it.
Oh, well done, sir.
So
let me have a copy of that edited one.
Yeah. I want to play you this lovely inspirational speech from Neil Warnock.
Might not be your fault, lads, eh? I'll just have to make sure you don't happen again, because I tell you now, I'm more determined than ever. I'll look at you now. I'll have a chat with all of you next week before you start flying off to Mallorca and all these other places, eh?
Well, you only got 15 seconds before he collapsed from exhaustion from editing all the swears.
There's another minute.
I bet you've never cut so much out, have you?
Never worked harder in my life.
The sweat was pouring off him, Neil. He thought he'd just play for 90 minutes in the heat. Is there any truth to the rumour you might go to Saudi Arabia, look at managing?
No, the one thing I don't want to, I would never manage in a temperature like that. I sweat too much. And I've got to enjoy. The thing about my lads, my team.
Hey, with that money you can buy some aircon.
You can, absolutely. But my teams, whenever I've taken over a club, they've never been the best team. They've never, ever been the best team. Usually, in the last few years, they've all been struggling at the bottom of the table. But the one thing that I love to do is motivate players. And I think a lot of the qualifications, man management now is missed out, and it's all data proven and all this and all that. Even when I went to Pep, I saw Pep a few weeks ago, and he said to me after, I had a chat, he asked me if I wanted to chat with the lads. I said, oh, God, I will if you want me to. So when they all come together, and you've got Haaland asking me for a selfie, I thought it should be me asking him for a selfie.
That's amazing.
But anyhow, they all come together and I said, hey, think yourself lucky, lads, I'm not your manager because I'd be kicking the ball from there up to there and you'd be chasing it.
But in all seriousness, Pep's a big fan of yours, isn't he?
Yeah, he said to me after, when I made him laugh with certain things, and he said, do you know, Neil, when I watched you, he said, we miss that. He said, we don't do that. Everything's data now. Everything's computer. We do this, we do that. Everything's in a situation, he said, and we miss out on that. And that's what it is. I think the man management part now, because the players earn so much money, don't they?
Yeah.
But they still need motivating. He's such a good manager, Pep.
Yeah.
I love him, mate.
Do you think...
Annoyingly so, he is very good.
Do you think it would be possible, or certainly as an idea, you take someone like yourself, but you also take someone, a younger manager who knows the modern world, like you were saying, with all the data and all of that and blah, blah, blah. And you put the two of you together. So you have your experience, your motivational stuff, you're working with the players, talking to the players, treating them as individuals, really getting them fired up. Add your experience with somebody who's all about the data, about fitness, about all of that and blah, blah. Do you think that could
I mean, listen, I do a little bit like that with Torquay. Paul Watton, the manager who played for me at Plymouth. And he lets me do little things, before the game or at training. I go training once a week or try and get training once a week. But funnily enough, when I was managing, sort of 20, 30 years, I remember asking the league managers, if you want to send a young manager with me for a few days, let them come and see it. And I never had one taker.
Really?
Yeah. So I was sad and disappointed at that. I must tell you, though, if I did get another job, they were telling me, the league manager informed me that I'd have to do a 15-hour exam. But with the new things, I'd have to do a 15-hour exam. And some of the people that will be teaching me, no, I'm not going to that. I'm not going to that.
We can fake it.
I know.
We can fake it. Leeds United, I'm a big Leeds United fan.
Yeah, it was a great club at the wrong time. Right club at the wrong time, really.
Yeah, I think so.
I took that at... I jumped in. My grandkids had just been, at Boston Spa where the training ground is.
Yeah.
And my son pestered. And I was just about to go to Wolves. I met the Wolves chair. I should have gone to Wolves. And without, I think when my son being up there just pushed it. And it was the wrong time. I won't go into details because Ken will sue me.
Yeah,
but it wasn't the right, but it did show me, though, what the club is. I mean, it's the biggest club I've ever managed, and that's no disrespect to any of the others. And it's great to see him back. I love Daniel Farke, mate, and he's never had a chance. When he was at Norwich and he got promotion, he never had a chance in the Premier League because they give him nothing, 1 or 2 million. Whereas here they're giving him an opportunity, and I just hope because the fans they're worth a point at home as well.
Yeah.
So I think I think this year will be different to last year where all three went down. I think they've got a fighting chance this year, these lads.
I hope so. And we just re-signed Daniel James for 4 more years.
Oh, I love him, mate.
You do.
I went on the pitch at Wembley when they got beat. When they got beat with Southampton.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
And I went on the pitch and I said to him, boy, you'd love playing for me. I just love it. When you get the ball, you run at people, you're not bothered. I said, I just love everything about you, mate. And he did thank me. And same with Russell Martin that day. They got beat just before the end of the season, 5-0 at Leicester.
Right.
And I said to him, to Russell Martin, they said, what will you do? They said, he's going to have him in training tomorrow. What would you do, Neil? I said, I'd take him for a Chinese, and have a few drinks. Because they've had a great season. They've had a hiccup here. They got in playoffs now. Yeah. They relax. Anyhow, at Wembley, when they won, one of the players before the game come up to me and gave me a packet. And I said, what is it? And it was inside. It was an Indian takeaway restaurant. It did what I said to him.
Oh, really?
But they didn't have Chinese. He went to an Indian.
Right. Listen, I am definitely going to come and see you on this tour because
it sounds great.
This is going to be great. Neil Warnock, Are You With Me? Tickets are on sale and available now from fane.co.uk/Neil Warnock. But if you put it in, you'll be able to Google search it.
Yeah.
And then...
Where are you?
Oh, there's Delia.
Let's be having you!
There you go. She wants you now.
I want her sober, though, when she comes.
Yeah. Which is the name of my book. Anyway, lovely. Really lovely to see you.
Chris.
Love to. Which one? Who listens? Is it William? Is a big fan.
Yeah,
of
William.
ours.
William listens to you.
Morning, William.
I don't know. You know, some of the headbanging stuff that you play. Can you not have? You know, when I used to go into dressing room, they've all got this stuff on now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, motivation. Yeah. And I used to say, right, if you don't win today, we're having Lionel Richie on next week.
Hey, listen, a little bit of dancing on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking now.
Listen, come back anytime you'd like. This has been fun. You don't need to get out of the chair. Relax. I'll press the buttons for you. Go and see him live. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure. Mr. Neil Warnock, everybody.
Radio X.